Hello everyone, welcome to So Dramatic, where we're bringing fantastic ideas to life. Today, I'd like to invite you to join me as I put together some trivets that I started early in the fall season. So these look a lot like placemats, although they are quilted with an edge binding, as you can see. It makes them suitable for kitchen use, and I can place a hot pot on them and they don't damage the counter. They're cotton with quilt batting, so they're very absorbent. And they're nice to look at. I made these quite a long time ago. And they have weathered the years nicely. They're not dirty. They've always sort of been that dull brown color. But yeah, over time they've got a little bit worn. And so I want some nice, happy new ones that are in spring colors. It's been some gray days of winter, and some bright colors will always cheer me up. I like the turquoise and pink contrast with the unicorn fabric, and that is going to work just nicely. This colorway is beautiful to me and will certainly brighten up the kitchen as we all wait for spring to arrive. So I got out these bright colors and decided to play with just some piecing ideas that I've had and to use up some small scraps of fabric I'd had lying around forever. I had some long scraps from a quilting project of these unicorn llama things. They sort of look like llamacorns because they're just that delicate kind of horsey look, but more like a llama than a horse. Oh, they're so cute. I've chosen this salmon colored fabric for the bottom layer. The funny thing about this is I printed this while I was in textile art school. This was one of the first 5 yardages I ever created, and I did a lot of dyeing and print screening during that program. I think that this salmon color will go well with this. They're going to be on opposite sides, and the binding will be of this unicorn fabric right here. So this is going to always be on the bottom of the trivet, and that's okay. You need just a good back, and it's a solid cotton. So the first thing I'm going to do is to iron all of the existing pieces. I'm going to remeasure the top pieces as well so that I can be sure that the background and the batting are cut to the correct size. And then I can line up the quilt sandwich to fit and make it all work out. Once all the pieces are ready to layer together, line up the quilt sandwich and pin all of the layers together. This is the same method used for quilt as you go with much smaller pieces. You can refer to the spiral quilt that I made recently if you want to review that more closely. The thing to keep in mind is background first, then layer up the quilting batting part and make sure those are attached, and put the top layer on, make sure it's all fitting, and start the pinning process. I'm choosing to keep the lines simple by outlining the 4-inch square sections, then defining the outside edge. Once the layer stacking is finished, the thread ends are snipped and the trivets are ironed a second time. This helps to set the stitching in place and settle the layers for easy assembly. I've chosen more of this unicorn fabric for binding so that the outside lines won't look so much like a frame. I'm hoping it will give this a softer look than a bright pink bias tape would have done. As you can see, I'm doing the corners of the bias a certain way so that they're mitered at the end. And you can revisit this in some of my previous videos. I talk about it, but if you guys would like me to do a small video on just the mitered edge so that you can find it easily in the quilt blog section, let me know. Once the binding is fully turned, we can move to the hand stitching process. It used to take me a really long time to do this step, especially since I started out working on really big quilts, and hand stitching them can make the heart quail. And you think, oh, this is going to take forever. Please let it end. But after a while, you just become a lot better at it. I've become super proficient at this, and I really enjoy it now. It's very meditative, although sometimes I just do still poke my fingers because thimbles are uncomfortable and awkward because I haven't spent a lot of time using them. I kind of avoid them because I don't like the way they feel on my fingers. I feel like somebody's putting a massive mask on there. The big reason why I prefer hand stitching rather than machine stitching for this step is it's blind in that you can hide the stitches in between the layers at the back in the seam, and it doesn't show on the front, so it gives everything a nicer, freer, cleaner look, and I love that. Here it is. It's lovely. I really like the stitching and the way that the seam edges have turned out. And you can see on the back the edging there. It's all hand stitched. And the miter, it looks so good. Simple trivets and or placemats, also a nice place to put planters on. These are really nice, and you can make them any shape, make them small, experiment with some quilt blocks where you only have to manage a small amount of material. These are 11 inches by 15 across, and I like it so much. All right, thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe.